What?
I really like your hair.
It's not... Thank you.
Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 4. Hit and Run. Yet another strong episode. And I think we were given a couple of more clues in this one that do indeed strongly suggest the possibility of Kim Wexler being a big player behind the scenes in the Breaking Bad timeline. Starting with Howard. He's humming along to the tunes and he's just getting warmed up. Howard mentions to his therapist that he is deadlocked in his relationship with Cheryl, presumably his estranged wife, and for me this was one of the most interesting revelations in the episode. So Jimmy is all tanned out looking like Howard, he's got the hacked key device, and damn, doesn't he look an awful lot like Kevin Costner? Goodman employs the services of Wendy, and she really likes his hair. Oh well, so much for the brain-dead theory that Kim becomes Wendy in Breaking Bad. So they pull off the charade, and Cliff believes Howard violently ejected a hooker out of his car in broad daylight, just where he happened to be having an outdoor meeting with Kim. Poor Howard. He's being framed as a hooker-loving degenerate nose-deep in the devil's dandruff. Meanwhile, Gus has a home that has many working elements we never really knew about previously. Indeed, his home has a secret tunnel connecting to his neighbor's place, where he is on the lookout for would-be attacks from Lalo. Lalo is once again never to be seen in this episode, and interestingly enough, Gus seems as nervous and unnerved as we've ever seen him regarding the entire threat posed by Lalo. But clearly that secret Bond villain tunnel predates the threat posed from Lalo, so this is an entire layer of Gus that was never previously revealed. So way back when Pinkman was having dinner with Gus, with designs to poison him, there may well have been more working pieces in motion than we knew. So Gus has an entirely new dimension that was previously unknown. And Howard is having problems with whom I assume is his estranged wife, adding a behind-the-scenes family dynamic that, as far as I remember, never previously came into play in the story. So how do these revelations relate to Kim Wexler? Well, I believe this is another set of clues that strongly suggest the possibility that Kim Wexler is indeed working behind the scenes as a major player in Breaking Bad. The common theme here being, just because we don't see all of the moving pieces, doesn't mean they aren't there. Of course, further amplifying the idea that Kim may be a big player behind the scenes in Breaking Bad comes from the scene with Mike and Kim. This just expands on the possibility that maybe, just maybe, Kimmy Corleone was even more deeply rooted in things than Goodman himself. Because now the door is open for the possibility that Kim has some kind of a future alliance with Mike, and perhaps even Gus, even if it's indirect. Mike seems impressed by Kim. She was quick to spot his men following her. She confronted them, and Mike appears to hold her in higher esteem than Saul, noting that she is made of sterner stuff. Kimmy Corleone seems mighty nervous and unnerved herself over the entire Lalo ordeal, especially with the new revelation that Lalo lives. Even during their frame job on Howard, where tanned-up Goodman throws Wendy out of the car, Kim is showing dents in her armor, and perhaps not as cool as an assassin after all. She also seemed very perturbed by the men following her, but all the same she bravely confronted them like a complete and total badass. Sterner stuff indeed, with Kim and Gus experiencing a shared fear with the Lalo situation, and Kim now having more of a direct in with Mike. It will be interesting to see if they somehow combine forces to stop the wrath of Lalo. Meanwhile, McGill is being shunned by the good guys, and Goodman is being embraced by the criminal scumbags. Goodman's reputation as a cartel lawyer now precedes him, and he's attracting the scummiest elements around, including Mr. Spooge himself. You'd think Spooge might not need that level of protection one may receive from a cartel lawyer, but there he is. McGill was killing it as a tanned Howard. He was shunned by everyone in the courthouse. He was revered and praised by the lowlife scumbags. And he even has his eyes set on what we know will become his future law office in Breaking Bad. Kim didn't pick it out herself, but he chose this location based on her previous specifications. And he sought her approval, which she granted him in Kimmy Corleone style. I, for one, am still hopeful that Howard is going to provide some real resistance to Kimmy and Goodman. Howard was smart enough to figure out Jimmy smashed his car and was trying to embarrass him with hookers. Surely he should be smart enough to learn Jimmy planted the coke and somehow staged the incident with Wendy. Even if Howard requires some hints from Kevin or Cliff, he should be clever enough to figure it out, and he should then be able to catch them, perhaps red-handed, as Jimmy and Kim are both arrogantly overconfident with their scheme to ruin poor Howard. As a final thought, to reiterate, when you combine all of the hints this season that Kim will indeed be a big player in Breaking Bad, the key theme this week was the revelation of new dynamics previously unseen behind the scenes. This is important. Howard has a deadlocked relationship with Cheryl, and even though we've never seen her before, we can assume that his troubled relationship has had a profound impact on all of his decisions. Gus has a secret Bond villain tunnel with neighbors who are clearly his people, trusted people, where he has a fail-safe measure for every conceivable obstacle. And then even Kim, she sees an entire new element from her own personal perspective when Mike enters her life and they share their moment. While there were no new reveals here for the audience, there was from Kim's perspective. Taken together, I personally believe they are hinting that Kim is indeed behind the scenes in Breaking Bad. That doesn't mean she is behind the scenes, but the creators are, in my opinion, going out of their way to reinforce this idea as a strong possibility, and that alone makes the season extremely captivating. This episode may have been slow when compared to the shocking demise of Macho Nacho Man, but I think a lot of important stuff happened here. And incidentally, I'm expecting to see more of Nacho's old man, and I'm looking forward to the triumphant return of Lalo. But whatever happens, I'm fired up to find out, and I think Season 6 is off to a rocking good start. Tight, 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 tight. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night.
Cheryl still won't talk about anything important.
What?
I really like your hair.
It's not. Thank you.
Mr. Spooge? It's just Spooge. It's just Spooge, duly noted.
I know skank, skank, skank ass skank! Skank ass skank! Skank ass skank!
Why are you telling me this and not him?
Because I think you're made of sterner stuff.
Hey, did you hear all that?
I heard enough to know she saved your ass.
Lalo Salamanca's dead.
Lalo Salamanca is alive.
And who do you work for?
I said I would answer anything I can.
You're on our billboard. You're the lawyer guy. Yeah.
Better Call Saul!
Who is this?
That, my friend, is Albuquerque's public enemy number one.
Good to meet you.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive, but if you do, call me.
Have an A1 day.
Spooge! Oh, Spooge and friend, okay. Good. This way.
Skank, skank, skank ass skank! Skank ass skank!
You're done. You are done!